Hello, our trusty Philips TV, a 22-inch LCD with a 10,001 contrast ratio, just wouldn't turn on while I was away, and what should have been a simple replacement turned into a 4-product saga that nearly drove us both mad. Stick around, because if you're thinking of replacing your TV, you'll want to hear this. It's only to keep the wife happy. The problem was, well, picture this. I'm out of town and my wife is suddenly TV-less. She tries everything, different plugs, power cables, power cycling. Nope, the TV's dead. For days she's stuck watching Netflix on her tablet. When I get home I double check everything. Yep, it's officially junk. So I go onto Amazon and I find a 25-inch FHD TV. So it looks good, doesn't it? Here we got it's £109, which is very cheap, 25 inches, and it's got all these features. It says here it's got full HD, frameless, and look at it here. When we get onto the actual images, look, there's no bezel on it, so it's frameless, and it's got nice sizes. It's got a dog, full HD as opposed to HD, which is bezel-less. See there, it definitely says bezel-less, and there it says it's about 16 watts. And there we've got a nice picture of the back of it, and you've got good inputs. You've got 2 HDMIs plus one on the side, RF and whatever, and you've also got a C thing. Now we've got here colour enhancement, full HD, HDMI, Dolby Audio, Wi-Fi built in, Tizen OS, blah blah blah. Goes on there specifically to say that. And full HD, driving the vibrant crystal clear colours, Tizen OS, again it says. And you scroll down here and you see all the things. What's in the box, remote control, stand, custom reviews. Now this is really what's quite annoying, because the customers say, oh yeah, really good picture, sounds a bit naff sometimes, good picture, one there. With all the bells and whistles, Dolby sound, fancy picture enhancement, so-called bezel-less design. It looks great on paper, so I order it. It arrives, and right away I can see a bezel. So it's not bezel-less at all, but that's just the start of my problems. The new TV has no analog audio out, just optical. No problem, I think I'll grab a DAC, digital audio converter, you know, that sort of thing you just plug in, and we'll use a proper amp and speakers, because let's face it, TV speakers are rubbish. But remember, this was promising Dolby sound and it should be good, and it never occurred to me it wouldn't have a headphone outlet. But the digital output is so weak, even with the amp cranked, you can barely hear anything. The DAC's just not giving enough volume. Not to be beaten, I ordered this one. This has got an amplifier in it, but it's about twice the price of the original one. Although it can drive headphones, it's still not very much louder than the original one. Then the real pain begins. The TV keeps randomly changing its black and white levels mid-scene. One second it's bright, the next it's dark. My wife doesn't notice at first, but I'm losing my mind. I dig through everything, all the settings, and nothing fixes it. I call T-View, and I call T-View support. Their advice somehow makes it worse. Now it takes even longer to change, but it still jumps around. My wife finally notices and says, I'm waiting for it to change and it's driving me crazy. I say, welcome to my world. What I then do is, having phoned T-View and decided that they didn't really know what they were talking about, I decide that I'm going to look for another TV. And so I find a Toshiba one. Now it's time for a new plan. So I phoned Toshiba about their 32-inch model. I confirm no weird brightness with them. And they say, yeah, there's no weird brightnesses. And everything's sort of teeny-boo as far as they're concerned. And it's got a proper digital output. And, we see where we go. So I order it. What a relief. The picture is stable, blacks and whites stay put, and the sound is actually decent, even from the TV. Plus, the digital output finally works on my amp and speakers. No more volume issues. This Toshiba runs on Vida OS. It's very much like Tizen, which I've never liked, but it feels less clunky, maybe because this TV's got a process that's just faster. Now, with the second DAC and the Toshiba, everything works. After a long, frustrating journey, we're finally sorted. And here's what I learned. Don't trust marketing. The thing, it said bezel-less. I'll show you the pictures. Check the photos. If the TV has auto brightness, make sure you can turn it off. And always check the digital output level if you're using external speakers. Sometimes getting it right takes a few tries, but then when you do, the difference is night and day. This is a picture on the T-View, and you can see there that it's got, around the edges it gets light, and so all around the edge you've got a lightness, and the picture basically is altering. Now I can't really show you the actual results. This is my camera just pointing at it, and you can see the results weren't that marvellous. This is in comparison to the Toshiba one, which we're going to see now. Now the Toshiba one has got a far more stable and balanced picture, as you can see here. Yes, you get some flare, but that's actually artistic flare because they're using smoke devices in the studio to make all this furry softness, which is a real pain in the arse to me. I hate it. But look here, there is a proper high definition picture, and even with the fact that they're doing all this artisticness, the television is producing a more stable picture, and that is what I want. I want a balanced picture that is stable. The T-View just didn't do that. And you can clearly see the bezel in the box diagram, but just for a laugh I thought I'd show you how the Toshiba arrived. This is what we found on the front door. That's a full-size front door. So I dragged it in, and now we have the TV box on top. Inside the box there was a lot of packing, and as you can see it was very deep. So we pulled all the packing out, and we got the box out, and it's not a lot different to the other one, but there we go. So that's my quick take on what I think a bad TV and a good TV. Hey, this is just scratching the surface. If you want a proper in-depth review of either of the TVs, maybe you've got questions or you want to see them tested with real-world setups, let me know down in the comments. Your feedback genuinely shapes what I cover next, so don't be shy. It really helps the channel out, and make sure you don't miss the full reviews when they drop. And if you've got your own good or bad TV stories, share them below. I read every comment. Thanks for keeping tech simple with me, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.